You and me both have some kind of calling that God has put us on this earth for a reason, right? You're not here without a purpose. You're not here by accident. Every single day that you've lived up to this point has served a purpose for you to grow into who you are today. And God has called you to his purpose according to his will. But a lot of times we can't see that because we have our own ideas, our own dreams, our own ambitions in mind. And we're so afraid to give that up to God because we're afraid that he doesn't have what's going to make us happy, what's going to make us feel fulfilled. What do we really want, right? But what we don't understand is that he put us on this earth for our own good. He has plans to prosper us, to give us hope and the future, not to harm us. But a lot of times that's how we think. And so we look at God as this distant guy watching us from all the way above, like just looking down on us. And so we treat him like a genie. God, if I do this, will you give me this girl? God, if I do this, will you give me this money or this Lamborghini or this Rolex, right? But God is not a genie, and he's as close to you as your nose is to your face. And he has called you according to his purpose because he loves you, and he has known you since before creation, since the start of the universe. He had you in his mind. Just think about that, like an artist, right? Think of yourself as an artist. And you have all the materials, you have the paintbrushes, you have the paint, you have the canvas, you have everything set up, and you have a creation in your mind. You want to paint this beautiful painting. And as you have this painting in mind, before it even exists, before it exists in the physical realm, it was up here. And because it's your creation, it's your masterpiece, you love it so, so much, right? That's exactly what we are to God. And so for you to say you're here by accident and that you have your own will and your life just has the purpose and meaning that you give it is to dishonor the artist in itself. It's kind of like slapping God in the face. So I want to read you something from Ecclesiastes 11. He who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the clouds will not reap. A lot of times we do want to do what is best for us, what is God's will for us, but it's very hard to kind of figure that out once you are willing. Becoming willing is the easy part. Surrendering your will is the easy part. It's not simple. It's not easy, honestly, actually, now that I think about it. It's simple, not easy. Surrendering your will, right? You give it up to God. Okay, now what? We always want the perfect answer, and we want the clear-cut answer right now. We want it to be direct. We hear an audible voice from God like, Jake, go into the cave and meditate for 10 hours and I will tell you the answer, or get that job, or marry this person, or go over there and do this, whatever it may be. God will not obviously have an audible voice to some people, but for most of us, it won't. And so he who observes the wind will not sow. I was thinking about this and I was meditating on it. And I got this little revelation that told me, act and I will act. If you keep waiting for the perfect time and the clear-cut answer, God cannot act through you. You must act first for him to be able to then act through you, right? Me switching this channel to Christian content instead of self-improvement, didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I knew this is what he was calling me to do because I felt an inner stirring, like this isn't good enough. I need to tell people more about what I've been learning about God and life and purpose. I knew that this was from God, but I didn't know how I was going to go about it. So I surrendered my will to him. This is not my channel. This is God's channel. And so I said, whatever you want to do with this channel, I will do. But how it's going to go about, I have no clue. I'm going to be honest. But I followed. And that's what it means to walk by faith and not by sight. Let me give you an analogy. God will steer the boat, but you are the one who has to row. And if you don't row at all, it doesn't matter what direction you're going in. You'll never reach your destination. So, yeah, that's basically all I needed to say. If this message hit you, share it with a friend if it meant something to you. I hope you'll keep it close to your heart. And if you want to hear more from a 17-year-old trying to do God's work, subscribe. It's a win-win for both of us. As always, get after it.